All right, welcome back to Torah in 10, Parsha BO, chat edition.
Oh yeah.
Guys. Okay, I'm Jody Burkell, and I'm so happy to be here with you again. Every night after I read my son a story, he says, "Tell me a story." At first, I said, "I just did." He says, "No, tell me a story about you and Abba." And so very often there's a story after the story. He wants to hear anything about my past. It could be about me and my husband. It could be funny stories about his aunts or uncles or grandparents, anything. He just loves it. What's the power of a story? A story doesn't just give over a teaching, and it certainly doesn't bring us down. In fact, just the opposite. A good story has the power to raise us up. It can give us what we need the most. It can give us hope. A good story does more than give us moral instruction or warn us about the consequences of our mistakes. It gives us an example of someone who is struggling just like we are. But in the end, it's amazing. He or she succeeds in accomplishing just what they are striving for. So we think, if this person can do it, maybe I can do it too. And it gives us the strength to try again. Stories have the unbelievable ability to take us back to the beginning. As the holy Rizhiner Rebbe says, how does the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, begin? With the master of the world telling us stories. In the beginning sounds a lot like once upon a time to me. One of the most important parts of Judaism is the act of remembering, Yizkor. More than it has a history, the Jewish people has memory. Did you know that there's no word for history in Torah? And modern Hebrew had to borrow one, historia. But the word zachor, to remember, occurs no fewer than 169 times in the Torah. Rabbi Sacks says so powerfully, the difference between them is that history is someone else's story. Memory is my story. In history, we recall what happened. Through memory, we identify what happened so that it becomes a part of us and who we are. That's why we have the mitzvahs of all of our holidays. When we eat matzah on Passover, we are connecting to the idea of freedom itself, remembering that we were slaves in Egypt and God, who loves us, rescued us. When we light our menorahs on Hanukkah, we are connecting to the idea that light can overcome darkness and that we should stand up for what we believe in. That's bringing our past to our present. What's the connection to our Parsha this week? We are at an epic moment in our history. Just days before their freedom, Moses is addressing the Israelites. They have been in exile for 210 years. They've gone from affluence to bitter slavery and genocide. After witnessing Hashem's awesome power through the plagues that brought the most powerful country in the ancient world to its knees, they're about to go free. Can you imagine this moment? What does Moses talk about? He certainly doesn't talk about freedom or a land filled with milk and honey. Instead, Moses speaks about education, specifically the duty of parents to their children. He speaks about the questions children may ask, about the miraculous events that took place, the plagues, the splitting of the sea, and the death of the Egyptians, which by then will be a distant memory. Moses tells the Israelites to do what Jews have done from then until now. Moses said, tell your children the story. Do it in the maximum effective way. Reenact the drama of exile and exodus, slavery to freedom. Get your children to ask questions and make sure that you tell the story as your own, not as some history lesson. Make it vivid, personal. Bring it alive for them. Part of our Pesach every year is making a splitting of the sea Seder table. I drape blue tinsel on 2 sides of the doorway to the dining room, and as our guests arrive, my children say, follow me to freedom, and they walk them through the sea to the Seder table. Why is this the most important thing that Moses could do at this moment of redemption? Rabbi Sacks says the most powerful link between the generations is the story of those who came before us. Their story becomes ours, and we hand it down to the next generation so that it becomes theirs. Friends, The greatest gift we can give to our children is not money or possessions, but a story, a real story, one that connects them to us and to our incredible legacy. Looking back, we can see the genius of Moses. A story across the generations is a gift of an identity. When you know who you are and what you are called on to do, you can navigate the world around you with its ups and downs with purpose, clarity, confidence, and courage. That's exactly what we have been doing as a people for more than 3,000 years. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Say bye, guys.
Bye.